is Rebecca. I'm a summer intern with Fanimal, and today I am joined by Shelby Bobosky of the Texas Humane Legislation Network, where she is the executive director. Ms. Bobosky, thank you so much for joining us, and if you wouldn't mind just giving us some brief information about yourself, and then you can begin your presentation on how you work as a legal animal advocate.
Sure. So my name is Shelby Bobosky. I am the executive director of the Texas Humane Legislation Network. A little background on me. I am an attorney by trade, and about 11 or 12 years ago, I was in my corporate office and a call came out regarding a puppy mill bust. They were looking for volunteers to help with hundreds of dogs that was about 20 miles away from me. And I thought, gosh, I'm in Dallas, Texas. I can't believe there's a puppy mill nearby. Well, there were over 500 dogs. And as I was helping with these animals and smelling the terrible smells and looking at hundreds of dogs that have been abused, held in unsanitary conditions, as an attorney, I thought, why isn't there a law against this? And I found the Texas Humane Legislation Network. We are a 501c4, and our mission is to promote the humane treatment of animals through legislation, education, and advocacy. And once I got involved with THLN, I was hooked. I was a volunteer and a board member for many years, and now I serve as the executive director, and I absolutely love my job. So that's kind of how I got to this point. Today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Texas politics and how animals fit into the politics. And we will be discussing the legislation, and the session just ended, and we're going to talk about that for a second. So in the wheelchair is Governor Greg Abbott. That is his rescue golden retriever, Pancake. And that is also the Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick, as well as the former Speaker of the House. And this is a picture that was used in the beginning, the first day of the 2019 legislative session. As you can see, animals always bring people together. And these are the three most powerful people in the Texas legislature because they decide whether or not your bill passes or fails. So the Texas legislature meets every 2 years, and it's about 6 months, 140 days. And in 2021, we followed over 100 animal welfare bills, and they ranged everywhere. I'm going to talk just about a couple today. So we were very supportive, and we have been working on something called the Safe Outdoor Dogs Act now since 2015. 6 years actually. And what this bill does is it regulates how dogs live permanently outside. Our organization would love to end tethering of dogs outside altogether, but in a state as diverse and vast as Texas, we knew that wasn't going to happen. So what we tried to do is make it as humane for them as possible, right? This bill would have required adequate shelter, not just a piece of plywood against a barn, but an actual doghouse. It would require water. It would also require a proper tether, and that includes no more chains because chains are inhumane. If they're heavy, they hurt the dog, and if they are light, then they usually get wrapped around the dog's leg, around a tree, and they're just incredibly burdensome. Additionally, in the current law, there's a 24-hour warning period. And so let's say it's July, it's 105 out, and you see a dog in distress because it has no water in its water bowl. You would have to put a warning on their door and come back 24 hours later. What a waste. So over the last 6 years, we've worked with law enforcement, animal control officers, and animal advocates throughout the state. It made it all the way through the House. It made it all the way through the Senate. And then unbelievably, we just got some terrible news this weekend that it was actually vetoed. It was vetoed by the governor. To say we are heartbroken and crushed is an understatement. To get a bill so far as we did is huge. And for the governor to veto it is really bad. He said that he thought it was micromanaging. And unfortunately, we just don't feel that that's the case. We disagree. We had worked what he thinks micromanaging Texas dog owners. Actually, we had worked on careful compromises to make sure that this law would work through our diverse state. Imagine we have rural legislators, we have urban legislators, we have sheriffs from small towns, big towns, all over the place, and they all agreed on this bill, and he vetoed it. So it's been a very difficult couple of days, but we're going to dust off our pants after we fell off the horse, so to speak, and we're going to get back there the next legislative session. But this is why people don't like politics, right? Why would you include dogs in a veto that really need our help? Again, basic standards of care here. So we'll be back. Another bill that passed that we're incredibly proud about is the courthouse dogs. So these are therapy dogs that would be used in courtrooms throughout Texas. And let's say you have a child victim and they have to face someone that allegedly sexually assaulted them. Therapy dogs are amazing animals to help calm them and tell their story. And so what would happen is the witness would come in and have the dog. Now the jury can't see the dog because it's blocked off by the jury, by the witness box where they sit. But it would really help those vulnerable witnesses work through some very difficult testimony. And there was a federal law that John Cornyn, our federal senator, tried to pass, and it passed in the Senate, but it died in Congress, in the House of Representatives in DC. So we were able to pass it this year. We're very proud of that. And it allows, a qualified facility dog to come in and help those witnesses get through some very difficult testimony. And that's why dogs are amazing, right? They can, on 9/11, take one of their individuals down that is blind over 100 flights of stairs. They can sniff out bombs. They can do all these amazing things, and they can calm vulnerable witnesses while they're testifying. And so we thought it was important that this became a law, and we supported it. This bill unfortunately failed. This was the retail pet sales restriction. So this bill would have stopped the sale of puppies in pet stores in the state of Texas. Now, it only affected around 30 stores, but a majority of these puppies are coming from puppy mills that are out of state. And they're sending down very young infant puppies on 3 to 4 day journeys to get to Texas. And it's just been a very, very difficult bill to pass. But unfortunately, it did not pass, but it got through the House and then it died in the Senate, and it died like 4 hours before the end. So anyways, that's another very important bill. So how do you support an animal welfare bill? Well, first of all, you contact your legislator. Now, in the state of Texas, each person has a state senator and a state representative. And then you say to them, please, I support this bill because we're removing chains as a method of restraint on outside dogs, right? And then you follow up with an email, and then you can thank them for their vote if they support it or don't support it. And there's so many more steps in between, but it's the most basic way to use your voice to help animals. If you are from Texas or not, I urge you to go to thln.org. If you sign up for our action alerts, you can be kept on the loop from anything relating to Texas laws or federal laws. Right now, we're going to start working on the Big Cat Public Safety Act. I'm sure some of your viewers have seen, oh my gosh, Joe Exotic and Tiger King. And we have a huge problem in the state of Texas with respect to tigers and private ownership of them. So that's our next step. And we're going to work on trying to pass that federally. You can also browse our website for various different laws, how to get involved, how to use your voice for animals, and then please follow us on social media. But, most importantly, we ask everybody to use their voice for animals, especially when animal cruelty is involved. I will say this and end on this. Unfortunately, there is a link between animal cruelty and interpersonal violence. We know it's been proven. So it involves domestic violence, it involves child abuse, elder abuse, and usually the abusers start with the pets in the home. And so as a result, if you see animal cruelty, say something, do something. If you see a bill out there that you think will help deter animal cruelty, please use your voice and stick up for it. And hopefully we won't have any more vetoes on any more of our bills in the future. So I just want to thank you so much for this opportunity, Rebecca. And here is my information, shelby@thln.org. I also teach animal law at Southern Methodist University School of Law. I love it. I love getting questions from people. So if you ever have any questions relating to anything animal law related, please feel free to reach out. And I'd love to talk to you more about it.
Great. Thank you so much. And on behalf of everyone at Fanimal, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Rebecca. Appreciate it.